administrator. So the functionality of a database administrator is schema definition, right? So he creates the original database schema by executing a set of data definition statements in the DDL, right? So you all know how to create a database schema definition by executing a sequence of statements in a data definition language. You can create a schema definition. So a DBA is also associated with a storage, structure, and access method definition, right? So access method is going to be read access, write access, execute access, and the storage structure, right? What are the data structures that are used to represent the data, and how you are going to store the data, either in a primary memory or in a secondary storage disk, right? So this is taken care by the database administrator. Schema and physical organization modification, right? So whenever we need to make changes in the schema, database schema, we go for this alter table command to add a attribute or to drop an attribute, right? So the database administrator, he carries out the schema and physical organization, schema design and the physical organization to reflect the changes in the requirements or needs of an organization and to improve the performance. So the database administrator again can grant authorization for data access. So he can regulate which part of the database various users can access, right? So different users should be given different access rights to access the information. So granting and invoking of access right is taken care by a database administrator, right? So he takes care of the schema definition. He takes care of the storage structure and access method definition. Whenever some modification has to be done on schema or physical organization modification, it is being taken care by the DBA. Granting and revoking of authorization for data access is again taken care by a DBA. And routine operations. So routine operations done by a database administrator includes periodically performing backup operations, periodically doing the backup operations onto magnetic tapes or disk or onto remote servers to prevent loss of data in the case of disaster such as flooding or fire, right? So backup operation has to be taken care by the DBA. So ensuring that enough free disk space is available for normal operations and upgrading the disk space whenever required, right? So if some space is available, it should be equally partitioned among the different users and ensures that enough disk space is available for every user to carry out his normal job. And finally, monitoring jobs running on the database and ensuring that the performance is not degraded by very expensive tasks submitted by some users, right? So wherever we have a system, some users will be using the particular system. They will be submitting some expensive task and they will degrade the performance of the entire system. So we need to balance the usage of all the users who are using a particular resource. So monitoring the jobs run by the different database users and ensuring that the performance is not degraded by some expensive task submitted by some user is done by database administrator, right?